to the Motocross Supercross podcast.
What is up, everybody? At it again, episode 92, going into Red Bud. Round 7 of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross series. I'm Adam here with Claudio. What's up, Claudio?
Feel way better now that you got on board with the Red Bud.
That's right. We're going to be hearing that a lot this weekend. Right. The crazy fans for Red Bud. This is definitely probably the biggest race of the whole year.
Looking into the second half of this Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, and it's getting good. It's getting interesting, and especially in the 450 class, man. It's still anyone's game.
Yeah, even though Eli has a big lead, this, with what happened last week with Marvin beating him, it could be a turning point. Things could definitely change this week, and some riders who haven't been on the podium might be able to make that leap this weekend.
Yeah, this is, like we said in our last podcast, this is one of the most favorite tracks for the riders and the fans. It's very festive, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. So festive means a lot of drunk people. That's what you're trying to say, right?
I'm just trying to be very,
They like to party up there in Red Bud.
Yeah, it's going to be a cool race to go to, all the people dressing up and all the red, white, and blue. And yeah, especially the beer.
Yep. Well, speaking of, weather still looks perfect. High near 80 degrees. Winds east-southeast 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear skies. 0% chance of rain. So you can't ask for a better weather weekend. That is for sure. Especially with all the heat waves and stuff going on. Looks like they're not going to get any of that, any of the rain either. So it's just going to be perfect.
Yeah, this is a great way to celebrate this Independence Day race.
That's right. And we will get into our predictions for Red Bud later on in this episode, as this is the prediction episode. But let's touch on a couple other topics before we do that. First, just want to remind everybody that Travis Pastrana is doing his Evel Knievel jumps Sunday night, July 8th, 8 p.m. Eastern, live on History Channel, 3-hour event. And yeah, this is obviously a big deal. If you're on Instagram, you see the ads. If you watch TV, you've seen the ads for it. He's going to be breaking Evel Knievel's record jump over 52 cars, and then another record-breaking jump over 16 full-size buses. And then he will jump the Caesar's Palace fountain on a bike similar to the one Evel Knievel used 50 years ago, and almost killed him on that one. So if he can do it successfully, then
good for him.
Yeah, that'll be good for him. But hopefully he doesn't end up like Evel Knievel. And I think I said on a podcast way long ago, whenever we first started talking about it, that there's probably like a 99% chance this all goes off like perfect, right? I mean, that's where I would put it at. Where would you put it at?
Well, yeah, I have to agree with you. We talked about it in the past, and there's a lot of preparation going into this stunt and this day. There's a lot of record-breaking jumps, but legendary.
Two will be record-breaking.
Well, yeah, but with today's technology and today's bikes, they're preparing best as possible to do all these jumps and then just to go through the day smoothly.
Yep, that's right. And it is important to note he will not be on a dirt bike. He will be jumping on a V-twin motorcycle, Indian, I believe. So that definitely makes it interesting. We're so used to seeing him on the dirt bikes and jumping motorcycles, something we haven't seen, this kind of motorcycle. So yeah, it's definitely going to be one to watch. You have to tune in. It's going to be good. We'll be talking about it on here for sure on Monday.
Yeah. It's going to be on the History Channel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And July is also a pretty busy motocross month and just kind of extreme sports. July 19th to the 22nd, only a couple weeks away. That's the X Games in Minneapolis.
That's right. My birthday. What?
That's right. On your birthday. Well, actually, I'm looking at the schedule. There isn't really too many events on your birthday.
Because it's my birthday.
Thursday the 19th is just a skateboard vert qualifier. Boo. And then another vert qualifier, vert final, and then BMX vert final. But Friday, July 20th, that's where we get to start to see some Moto X.
I know. I'm excited to see what these guys are going to bring to the table. Feel like, if you're not backflip, if you can't do backflip, you can, you're not going to be able to compete. And, backflip is like the most common. It's like doing a Superman now in the FMX world. So
Front flips, though, that's where it's at. We see a lot of front flip combinations. That's my favorite.
Some varials, some 360s. Yeah, it's I don't know, it's insane.
Yeah, I don't remember who did it, but I remember it was at the Nitro Games last year, Nitro World Games, and someone did a front flip kiss of death. That was the coolest thing.
Yeah, like, well, you have to kind of do a kiss of death because how else are you going to flip that thing?
So crazy. Yeah, these guys are crazy. They're going to be going big. Saturday is the step up where I already said I'll bet all my money Jared McNeil wins that. That's also the best whip is also on the Saturday of the 21st. So, yeah, I think that Jared McNeil could win that one too. He's crazy. He goes upside down on those things. We're definitely going to just have to stay tuned and watch all that, but just wanted to put that on everyone's schedule as it is only a couple weeks away.
Yeah, we're going to have some good videos and stuff on our Instagram at the MXSX podcast. Also, now that we're touching up on the social media, don't forget to go to our Facebook and check out all the details for our new contest. We're giving away a pair of 100% goggles, and they're pretty badass. So you definitely want to do this.
Really badass. Looking at them right now. Black. They got the black frames, black straps with like a silver, logo of the 100%. Mm-hmm. And then the sickest part, the gold lens, dude. Gold lenses. It looks sick. So these could be yours. All you got to do is like us on Facebook, and then we'll release more details on that later. But celebration of our 100th episode. As we said, this is 92, so it's right around the corner. So make sure you go check out our Facebook and like us on there, and these goggles could be yours.
That's right.
And one more thing that's happening in July. Well, at the end of July, Loretta's starts July 30th. So that also is only a couple months away. Or a couple weeks away.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're in July, brother.
Yeah, so everyone's going to be practicing and training for that. So we're going to do our best to try and follow what happens there. There's just so many classes, so many different people, and we don't really know any of them. So we're going to do our best to follow what goes on there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so with that said, let's go ahead and jump right into some red bud.
Bud.
There it is.
Yeah, man. So looking into red bud, this is our picks show. We'll make some picks. We're going to talk about a little bit of what's happening this weekend. So a couple of interesting facts about red bud. Red bud, it's actually usually the halfway point through the season. Also in red bud, I'm reading over here, there's been the winner of Red Bud. This is, and the other reason I'm saying this because I found it very interesting. The winner of Red Bud has gone to win the class or the premier class 21 times out of 37 years that they've done it there.
All right.
There's some pretty good odds on this. I mean, we do have Eli Tomac with a pretty substantial gap over Marvin Muskin, but anything can happen.
Anything can happen. So let's talk about who's in and who's out. We got a couple 250 riders that we will see this weekend. Mm-hmm. One of them being Garrett Marchbanks, who strained his ACL or MCL, I believe, in High Point. We have a video of that on our page. So good thing it wasn't a serious injury. Did not look good whenever it happened. So I guess it's pretty good that he's only back a couple weeks later.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm glad that it wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be, or as it looked.
Yeah, he was in some serious pain.
Oh, for sure. For him to just crawl out of the race or the track, he's got to be in some pain for sure.
Another injured rider, Enzo Lopez.
Yeah.
Coming back after his collarbone injury. I saw videos of him riding, so it'll be good to see him out there. It
says that he hopes to be back for Red Bud, but it's still unclear, and I don't think he will be racing this weekend, to be honest with you. I don't see him in the list, in the pre-entry list.
Oh, I see. Okay, so maybe he's not back in. So I guess we will not see him back this weekend, but good to see him riding again, and we know he will be back soon. I guess that's what we can gather from that. He'll be back soon.
Yeah, he's looking to return to Spring Creek. According to sources, he cracked his collarbone back in High Point, and he was hoping to be back for Red Bud, but he received an official confirmation that he was not going to be back for Red Bud and looked to return for Spring Creek.
Okay, sweet. So that clears that up. Just forget about whatever I was saying earlier. Don't just disregard that, and probably a bunch of other stuff that I say.
Yeah, don't.
450s, anything big happen in the 450 class? kind of the same usual riders we got.
Yeah, we still have our class. All of our riders seem to be good for Red Bud, and it's gonna be an interesting one. The other one that's to be determined is Justin Hill. As we know,
right.
He suffered a crash in the first turn at Southwick, and he suffered a cut in one of his arms, in his right arm, if I'm not mistaken. He ended up getting 21st in the first moto and opted to not race the second moto because he received some stitches. So he hopes to be back for Red Bud, but there's still no confirmation on his situation.
That sucks, man. I just want to see him like lead a couple laps or something, just be up front there and just see what he can do.
He is in the pre-entry list, but you know how that goes. So
Yep, so hopefully he's there. You would think just like a cut on the arm. Obviously, it was a serious cut. It could be where we see these riders race with crazy injuries. So would not be surprised if he was out there. And I think if he is out there, he'll do good.
Yeah, hopefully he... I feel like, if you're going to go out there and half-ass it, you'd rather not, just get better and then come back next week. He's not racing for a championship at this point. He's just kind of racing to get used to that 450. Of course, any seat time that you can get is good, but if you're not 100%, don't risk it.
Of course. So one thing that I was like, if this would happen, it would be so cool, but I don't think it's going to happen. I was hoping we would see a red, white, and blue podium, and I was like, what is the chances of that? So I was looking at the 450 results and like points and stuff, and it's like, all right, well, red, we could have Roxon, blue, obviously, Barsha. But white, I guess the only person who could do that is like Nicoletti with no Anderson. And so I don't think that'll happen in the 450 class.
Yeah, Filthy Phil will be the only candidate to be the white right there. And
same thing with the 250 class. Osborne's out. There's our white. But there's a couple riders we could have. I mean, Jeremy Martin obviously out too. He would have been our red. But there's still, RJ and Chase Sexton. You never know. One of them gets a good start, gets out there and finishes up there. But... yeah, it looks like we're not going to have our white again. But blue could also be Plessinger, Cooper, Ferrandis. So,
yeah. Well, speaking of Ferrandis coming from he's on fire, man.
Coming in hot.
Yeah, he's coming in hot to the Red Bud, and he's definitely one of the candidates to be in the top step of the podium this weekend. And I'm really looking forward to it. He came from his injury, then he's not led a lot of laps, but he's definitely led the most important ones. He's won a couple of motos in a couple of weeks. He got as we know, he won Southwick, and then he also got fourth place?
Yeah, he got second place overall at Muddy Creek. He went 11-1 for that second place overall. That's how crazy that one was. So he did win that second moto there, good enough for second place. That was just a crazy race, how all that happened. Last week, you said you were calling for a blue podium, and I think this week could be that blue podium for Red Bud with Plessinger, Ferrandis, and Cooper. I think that could happen this week. Cooper did not have a great week last week, that's for sure. He went 17-9.
Well, neither did Plessinger, though, if you really want to think about it. Plessinger had a horrible weekend, too.
Well, horrible. He still went 3-7, so he got fifth overall. But Cooper really, really did bad. He just hasn't been the same after his crash with Jeremy Martin. So hopefully he gets everything back together this weekend. But I think that could happen this week. Those three riders. Even Colt Nichols, he had those good results last week too. Well, he had decent results. He got 8-8 for a 6 overall. It's crazy how everyone's finishing these days. So we will get into those predictions, and you know what? Let's just start making some predictions right now. Let's start with doing that.
That goes to show you how crazy this championship has been and how it's still anyone's game. But yeah, let's jump into some predictions. Let's see what you got, and I can tell you what I got.
All right. Well, Dylan Ferrandis coming in hot, as we said. So you have to have him on your podium this week. He just looks so good. But also Shane McElrath, Alex Martin, obviously the points leader, Plessinger, Forkner, Sexton. Forkner we saw leading those laps before Mart took him out. So it's like you got to have him up there too. So I know I said the whole blue podium could happen this week, but for me, I'm going to pick Dylan Ferrandis to get first.
Okay.
Austin Forkner to get second, and Alex Martin to get third. That is going to be my top 3 for Red Bud.
I like it a lot. And I have to agree with those 3 guys. Those were actually the ones that I'm going to pick, but I'm going to pick them the other way around. I'm going to pick Alex Martin for the win, Faulkner for second, and Ferrandis for the third.
All right, so just to note, neither of us have Aaron Plessinger in that top 3.
No, he's coming from a couple of weeks of not making the podium, and I think he's getting a little lucky with keeping the red plate just because Jeremy Martin's out and Zach Osborne is also out, and I feel like there's other contenders that could be up there, but the gap that he was able to build is definitely helping him out.
Yeah, so another person, RJ Hampshire, last week he went 7-3 for a 4th overall.
He looked good in press day, so don't be surprised to see him up there.
That's right. As long as those bikes can make it the whole moto, he's got a really good chance.
As long as the bike make it the whole moto and everybody goes down, definitely.
No, I think he's got a good chance. It would be nice to see him, finish on the podium overall. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that. But yeah, it looks like both of us were in agreement with Ferrandis, Faulkner, and Alex Martin gonna be up there on the podium.
Yeah, you can't deny how good these guys are riding and how good Ferrandis looked from coming back, and we saw Alex Martin and Austin Faulkner have a great battle last week until they got together. So definitely expect them to be up there. Austin Faulkner is waiting for that win. He's looking for that top step. So yeah, don't be surprised. And he can also add his name to the winners of this year for the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, and maybe be the 6th different winner for this 7 rounds so far.
So Plessinger is the only one that I feel I could regret this week. So we'll see who's right. We'll see if we're right after the race. Let's move on to these 450s. As we said, it's not going to be a red, white, and blue podium, I don't believe, unless Nicoletti can really step it up, number 54. So I am cheering for him. I just don't think it's going to happen this week. But who's going to win, Marvin or Eli or Barcia? Those 3, I feel, will be on the podium again. But also, Baggett and Roxon. I feel like Baggett and Roxon are both due to be up there. How crazy would it be if we don't see Musquin or Tomac on the podium, but we see Barcia, Baggett, Roxon? That would be pretty insane.
Yeah, that would be insane.
I don't think I'm that risky, though, to pick it like that right now. I don't think so. It's still hard to bet against Eli, but Marvin really looked good, and it looks like he's turned things around, and it looks like he's making a charge for that championship lead. So in order for that to happen, he's got to win a lot of races, and he's going to need a little bit of bad luck from Eli Tomac at this point.
I can't disagree with you. He looked good. He definitely figure out a way to beat Eli, and it happened last weekend, and we'll see what's going to happen this weekend. I'm curious to see who you're going to pick, because Eli finally lost a streak, and we said you can't bet against someone until he loses. So I'm interested to see what you got in mind for this weekend.
Well, I hope we see a real close battle between all these guys. I hope it's not like Eli gets a whole shot and he's gone. I don't think it'll be like that. I think we're going to see some real lead changes going on. But I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say Justin Barcia is going to win this one.
Wow.
Real ballsy, yeah.
Wow.
Just got to go with my gut on this one, so I'm going with Barcia to win. Now, the second and third, because I really do think Baggett and Roxon are due to get up there, but I'm going to go Marvin second and Eli third.
Wow.
Crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, crazy that I'm saying that. But I said, hey, once Eli starts losing, then I'll start betting against him. And 2 weeks in a row, he lost a moto, so anything could happen. And we saw he crashed twice last week, so once he gets a little behind, and then he just starts riding super fast, and then his chances of crashing goes way up. So I feel like something like that could happen this weekend. And I'm going to put Barcia coming out on top of this thing. Crazy. I know, it's crazy.
That is an insane,
I'm crazy.
Insane pick. That's insane.
Yeah.
Insane. Well, you can't take away the fact that whenever Eli went down, he had some problems with his levers, and he had, so it wasn't, I don't know. I'm going to pick him for the win. I am going to pick Muskin for second and Roxon for third. I think Roxon is going to do good this weekend. He's going to be up there. He likes this track. The track seems to like him. And I wish I could say that he will do better, but I think that's what's going to be it.
Baggett, man, that fourth place, that number 4, always in fourth place. I seen videos of him riding. It looked like, I don't know if he rides alone, but the video I saw was just him. I wonder if it helps or hurts if you ride alone versus if you like ride with someone. I wonder what the difference between that would be.
I guess it depends on like who you're riding with. You know, if you're riding with someone a little bit faster than you, then you're going to get better. It's kind of like when Jeremy Martin was practicing with Eli. You know, we saw him getting better and better and better every week. So
Baggett I just want to see him on the podium, you know? It seems like we're on the same. It's going to be Eli, it's going to be Marvin, and then it's like it's either between Barcia, Baggett, Roxon. It's like, that's it.
Well, yeah, hopefully. I mean, I can't really wait for Baggett to be up there so we can
maybe Cooper Webb gets a little bit more better position. He went 8 and 8 or something, 10 and 8.
A couple of top 10s for sure last weekend.
Yep. Cooper Webb went 8th and 9th for 8th overall. So I think he could improve that this week for sure.
Yeah, I can see him. I don't know about podium, but I can definitely see him in top 5.
Okay, so maybe a top 5 for Cooper Webb. That means someone that could mean Roxon or Baggett doesn't make it, or Barcia, I guess, since you're not picking Barcia. Either way, it's going to be interesting. Redbud is always a good race. It's set up to be a perfect weekend right now. So all we can do is just hope for a good, safe weekend with lots of good battles and action going on. It would, hopefully no buzzkill moments to, suck the air out of it. Hopefully everyone makes it through. We get to see some good stuff, and it's just a great weekend, you know? Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. Especially, everyone's still healthy after this weekend. So good luck to all the riders. And I think that's it, man. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Motocross Supercross Podcast. Follow us on Instagram at MXSX Podcast and like us on Facebook if you want to win some goggles. Peace.